Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, for today, we will go ahead and discuss another set of topic, and we are in the third week of our course, Empowerment Technologies. So, for today, we will actually focus our discussion on what we called online safety and security. So, last week, this is actually a continuation and somehow related to the topic last week, which we talked about the topic regarding or related to the internet and the World Wide Web. So for today, we will go ahead and focus our discussion with the new topic. So maybe you're asking what this module is all about, and let's actually try to understand that the importance of the internet plays a crucial part in human development. Life becomes easy and comfortable because of this technology. Most of us are connected to the internet, as we all know. Right now, we have those kind of devices like laptops, mobile phones, tablets, personal computers, and even smart TVs. All right. And behind this technology, of course, you have to know that there is a risk that everyone should be very aware of. You could be at risk on a scam, cyberbullying, and illegal activities if you will not take the precautions in using the internet. So we need to keep ourselves safe and secure whenever we use the internet. That's why it is very important to know and learn the ways on how to be safe and secured online. So, uh, just like from the previous modules that we have here, this module has the following parts and corresponding icons. Now, maybe you are expecting something, and especially for today's topic, here are the following expectations that you have to know. Number one, we will be, or you guys will be able to at least name the various online threats that we have here. There are some online safety measures that we need to identify, and as well as we need to consider one's and others' reputation when using the internet. In addition to this expectation, you will be able to at least determine the different internet threats or the possible internet threats that we have. And of course, you have to be very careful and at the same time be aware with the different cybercrimes as well. Well, maybe 'di ba? Well, maybe some of you are already familiar with this one, pero syempre, i-discuss pa rin natin yung mga parts na bago para sa lahat or sa majority. Now, let me ask you the following questions here. Number one, do you always talk to strangers on social media? Ako, to be honest, I rarely talk to strangers on social media. I rarely. Uh, Pero that doesn't mean I do not talk at all. Siyempre, need ko pa rin makipag-usap sa mga strangers, especially kapag mga bagong students, for example. Siyempre, that is technically a stranger to me, so I have to talk to them personally, or, through chat. I also talk to strangers, especially kapag when I am gaming, di ba? So, malamang sa inyo rin or karamihan din sa atin dito when we are playing games, especially online gaming, we tend to talk to some strangers online. How about have you tried giving your password to your special friend or let's say your girlfriend, your your boyfriend, for example? Me, personally I am really against with the fact of giving password to your girlfriend. Hindi porke jowa mo, 'di ba? Hindi porke jowa mo or yeah, boyfriend mo, special friend mo eh kailangan alam ninyo isa't isa ang password ninyong dalawa. That's a red flag for me if someone or especially my girlfriend asks me to have my password. Well, because I every particular information na related sa akin, especially related sa education or sa classes, pwede niya kasing ma-unlock yun. So, may mga grades ng students, pwede niya ma-access yun. So, talagang against ako sa part na yun. So, in your case, na-try nyo na ba na magbigay ng mga ganyan? Okay. Number three, do you visit unsecured websites? When we say unsecured websites, when example here is torrent websites. So those are some unsecured websites. Yung mga ganyan. Porn sites is also another example of unsecured websites. Personally, I visit only like torrent websites, yung mga ganyan, kasi I love looking for some, you know, like possibly softwares na pwede kong ma-download on my own. Pero syempre, I am really aware of the risk on that one. But then, before I even download things from those unsecured websites, syempre tinitignan ko muna, as much as possible, tinitignan ko muna siya. And I am making sure that every file that I download is, of course, safe and reliable. I don't really download some pirated things. Okay, like yung mga music, video, audio. Kasi, you know, if you can afford that, why not support them? So, much better pa rin na mas-safe tayo online by not visiting those unsecured websites. Although I understand some of us, especially like related to the IT field, will somehow need to visit those unsecured websites such as torrent. Ako kasi naging student din ako, so I am really sure na I understand yung part na yun or yung sentiment na yun. Ba? Number four, do you rant on social media? Honestly, I hate that. Okay? I really am not a fan of ranting or even posting comments against a specific political candidate. Yung mga ganyan. I don't even share stuff related to politics. Yung mga yan. If, another example here, if nawala ng internet, for example, I don't really rant that. Yan. So, para kasi sa akin, sorry for the term, pero I consider myself as one of those reputable, person na rin since I have, we are or I am an ICT teacher. So it's really important for me to take care of the reputation na meron ako. So unlike other, probably iba sa inyo diyan, konting lang, magrarant na agad sa social media, 'di ba? That is very wrong. And if it happens, you know someone who is somehow a professional. Okay, yung mga nasa age namin, like my co-teachers, for example, you may want to report them directly to us, the ICT faculties, para at least mapagsabihan namin sila. Because ranting in social media is very, very, what do you call this term? Of course, it's a red flag for everybody. It's not a good influence. You are not creating a good social environment, online social environment. All right? Number five, do you post or share images or video without asking permission from the owner? This is somehow inevitable because syempre hindi naman natin alam di ba? Like for example, if I share videos related to the music video ng Encanto, di ba? Do we need to ask permission from Disney to post their videos? I don't think so. So I think magiging applicable lang ito kapag yung mga, like for example, artworks. If you post or share artworks from a group or from other people, of course, you have to make sure to ask for permission before sharing them, or at least by entering what we call the CTTO, the credits to the owner. It's really a must for us to do that. Yan, hindi rin kasi tayo pwede mag-post basta-basta ng mga mukha ng tao. Like for example, mukha ng kaklase mo, 'di ba? Without even asking for permission. So we have to remember the following questions here because these questions will serve as an assessment in our online habits. Those habits might be good or bad that you must be aware of. And if you keep practicing those bad habits, it might bring you danger. Safety is the first thing you must consider in using the internet at all times, by the way. At all times. Now, why is it very important to stay safe online? Bakit nga ba? Since we are talking about the online safety and security here, it's really very important and necessary for us to know why is it really important to stay online. Well, kagaya nga sabi ko, every one of us have their kind of gadgets and we are connected via our laptops and any devices that we have. Now, the potential for the internet to be a valuable and a fun resource for entertainment, making friends, keeping in touch, and learning is very huge. Now, if you use the internet, you could be at risk of any illegal activities. Tama po yan. Kahit na ginagamit mo ang internet sa mabuting bagay, still, you could still face a somehow risk dito sa mga bullying, fraud, or even something like internet, or I mean, like identity theft, yung mga ganyan. 'Di ba? So, unlike seeing someone face to face on the net, people aren't always what they first seem. And in the same way, you learn about safety when you leave the house, and it's also important to learn how to stay online. Well, that's true, and that is really 100% uh, true, by the way. Kasi nga, di ba, if we try to leave our house, we always make sure that we are safe. We, before going home, we also make sure na safe din tayo habang naglalakad or habang nakasakay sa mga jeep or nakasakay sa public utility vehicles. Same goes true with the online environment. You have to make sure that you are safe all of the time. All right. Now, let's talk about the social networking here. Kasi alam naman natin na all of us, I don't think na yung iba sa atin dito wala pa ring Facebook. I think lahat tayo may Facebook, 'di ba? Or yan, ng mga other social media platforms. Instagram, Viber, Tumblr. I think wala ng MySpace and Tumblr. Yan, mga yan. So, lahat tayo meron na nito, and most users are genuine, but because it is easy to hide your real identity, it is also possible to come into contact with people you would normally avoid. And nowadays, it's really easy to create fake accounts, or when like the term now, meron tayo the poster accounts na gagamitin para tawag dito, para say for example to commit some cyberbullying or cybercrimes online. So be very careful on that one. And some golden rules in terms of your online safety. Never ever give out your personal information such as your address or phone number. Especially if you post that. Medyo wag talaga dapat. I know Facebook and Instagram and even Twitter have this kind of feature where when we turn on our locations sa mga phone natin, they determine where exactly, 'di ba? Where we are exactly in the whole world. So alam 'yan. The the point here is that not only Facebook will probably know your location, but the entire internet itself. So make sure to at least turn off your locations all the time unless it is really necessary. Like for example, may nahanap ka or you want to be rescued, yeah, mga emergency purposes. So be very careful with that one. Do not send pictures of yourself to anyone, especially indecent pictures. Ito, nabanggit ko na to from the last meeting that never ever, ever po, especially girls, do not send pictures of yourselves na sobrang indecent, like mga nudes natin. Diba? So, be very wary and careful when sending that. Boys naman po, please, wag po kayong mag-a-ask ng mga ganong klaseng pictures sa babae. Kahit na girlfriend nyo po yan, kahit na asawa nyo, please do not do that. Okay lang kung kayo lang kung kayo lang eh. But then Facebook and other social media platforms out there, you know, can have or it is possible for them to check or to even hack your accounts and even access those files without you knowing it. So, I know this will sound paranoid, pero that's how reality works in social media. Anyone can be hacked for as long as they know how to do it. Do not open emails or attachments from people you don't know. This is also applicable in the Facebook or Messenger or even sa mga tags natin. 'Di ba? Karamihan ngayon meron yung mga Facebook tags na na-experience natin na bigla na lang tayong mararandong tag. Never nyo pong i-open yon. Never ever click them because that might contain some particular internet threats such as mga rootkits, viruses, worms, adwares, and many more. So never po, especially pag hindi naman po natin kilala yung nag-send or nag-tag sa atin. Do not become online friends with people you don't know. I think this will depend because to be honest, I'm guilty of this one because, I'm a gamer and up until to this point, I have met a lot of online friends, and what we are actually doing online is simply play games. So I don't think it's really you know, that bad. But then I know the privacy. I mean the risk when becoming friends online. Pero ang purpose ko lang naman is to communicate and to talk to them related to what we are playing. It's really rare for me to talk about personal stuff outside what we are playing. Well, probably this part here will be a caution to the girls out there, 'di ba? Especially kapag nakikipaglaro kayo sa mga kapwa nyo Pilipino, nagiging dating site ang mga Valorant, yung mga ganyan, mga League of Legends, Mobile Legends. So, be very careful lang din po, girls. Never arrange to meet someone in person who you've met online. I personally haven't tried doing this na may chinat ako, for example, na nakalaro ko tapos i-meet ko online. I haven't tried that. But then, if in case na mapunta ako sa part na yun, that will still depend on the situation. I'm not really closing my door. Kasi what if this is an opportunity, di ba? Opportunity for something big like a business opportunity, syempre i-assess nyo muna yon. You as well, as a student, as much as possible, be very careful. Especially girls, ulit, yan, wag po tayong basta nakikipag-chat and nakikipag-meet sa mga hindi natin kilala. Be very careful. Now, if anything you see or read online worries you, tell someone about it. I know it's somehow uh, difficult to open up, di ba? So, minsan kailangan din natin mag-open up, especially sa mga close friends and families natin when someone is bothering you online. And those are some golden rules that you might want to know when we are talking about the online safety and security. Now, let's talk about the risks or the privacy risks in online. Well, number one, they might say things on a status update, post, tweet, and they would never say face to face. Ito yun, di ba? Kasi nga, when we love posing, or especially kapag influencer ka, TikToker ka, yung mga ganyan, di ba? Hindi natin maiwasan na may mga bashers talaga na bigla ka na lang ibabash out of nowhere, bigla ka na lang nilang, ewan ko ba kung anong nasa isip nila, parang ang lakas ng trip nila, di ba? In that part. So be very careful with that as well. Kasi may mga may mga tao po, like for example, may mga kilala ko na na-offend talaga when they read a status or a comment related to their post na binabash sila. Kaya yun. Well, I think Filipino lang naman din karamihan gumagawa nun. We have this kind of mentality pa rin na hindi mawawala-wala sa atin. Especially when we post something online like related to our success, some of us might even bash that person and other way around. So, yun nga lang. That's another risk na binabato natin when we are active online. They might also give out personal information about themselves or others, including that photos they would normally keep private. Ito na po, na ano na rin, di ba? Nabanggit ko na rin to. So, be very careful pa rin po sa part na to. Now, cyberbullying here is actually one of the risks na pwede natin i-consider when in terms of the online safety. Cyberbullying can work in the same way as bullying in the playground. The victim feels frightened and alone, while the bully tries to hide from being caught. This is actually the same concept with what we have, okay? Yung bullying natin na in person and bullying natin na yun nga sa school, yung mga ganyan. Well, in online environment, it's actually the same. It will work as the same. Like, for example, yeah, comments, images, and videos about a person can be posted online, causing the victim to feel frightened and upset. See, for example, if the bully posted some related pictures of yourself, yan, nakakaano nga naman yun, di ba? Nakakairita minsan. And at the same time, parang you feel like being bullied na rin. And it is even possible for the bullies to hack into the victim's personal accounts and harass them. Pero ito, medyo bihira mangyari, but then it's still possible. Often, cyberbullies feel braver, okay, because they can't be seen, but it can be most traceable form of bullying because there's evidence that it's happened. Well, the cyberbullies are called cowards for me because, you know, they love bullying people, they love posting, and they love being keyboard warriors without even facing their, their victims. So that's actually a cowardice na tinatawag natin. So yun, ewan ko pa, ba't may mga bully eh. But because bullies think they can cover up their identity online, sometimes people who wouldn't normally bully might do so online. Yan. So, yun yan. Isa yan sa mga risk natin sa privacy na meron tayo. Next here, another risk that we have is what we call the sexting. The sexting usually refers to sending and receiving rude messages or videos of etong mga to, naked, that's obvious, underwear shots, or any sexual texts or chats, images, or videos. Meron na to eh. Sexting is actually a term that is being used by the 90s kid. Pero syempre, nag-evolve na to ngayon kasi wala na masyado halos gumagamit ng phone or SMS. But then, chat. 'Di ba? Sa chat na to ngayon. Now, these images or videos can be sent from a boyfriend or even a girlfriend or a friend or someone you've met online. And you also may have sent a sexual photo, a video, or text to someone else. Bakit nga ba nangyayari yan, yung sexting na yan, or yung pagiging malaswa nila? These are the following reasons why it usually happens. Number one, well, number one, your friends are boasting about sending or having photos on their mobile phone. Ito yan. Lalo ng face-to-face, mas uso ito, di ba? Yung pakitaan ng mga laman ng gallery. Tapos kapag kami nag-send na someone doon sa taong yon, payabangan sila. Well, di ba? Let's be honest on that one. May mga kaklase akong ganun. But then personally, I hate these kinds of things when I was a student because I'm a type of student before na nakafocus lang sa paglalaro, sa gaming, and sa gadgets. Mga ganyan. Ito, another reason, if you want to fit in with your friends, this is nonsense, but then it's really one of the reason. You're worried about being seen as frigid or shy. Yeah, especially in the Western, I mean in the East, yung mga yan, I mean West, the US, should I say. Yan. Pagka hindi ka daw wild or yung mga pag frigid ka or shy type ka, ikaw kasi yung lapitin ng mga bully. So, for like the mindset of those people in other countries like the US, you have to be you have to be wild, you have to be open-minded, you have to be open to anyone. Yung mga ganyan. Another thing here is you are pressured to prove your sexuality. Well, obviously. Kasi nga, baka mapagkamalang kang gay or lesbian. That's why, I don't know. Pero, this is somehow a taboo topic for us to talk. Pero we have to at least talk about this because it's really important for us to be aware of the following. Yeah, sexting can also happen because you are harassed, threatened, or blackmailed. Yun, wala kang choice. Yan, kumbaga, bina-blackmail ka na pagka hindi ka nag-send ng nude photos mo, iiwan ka ng boyfriend mo. Something logic na kagaya ng ganyan, which is not really good. Someone keeps asking for things and you feel that it's easier just to give in, 'di ba? Na para nakukulitan na siya eh. So sige na nga, mag-send na nga lang ako. Parang ganun. Ha? You're made to feel guilty if you don't want or if you don't do what they ask. Yung mga pa-victim, 'di ba? Na na lalaki, yan na kapag hindi ka lang kunwari nag-send sila na kunwari yung pa-victim, mga sad boy, yung mga ganyan. Sexting can also happen because you think you owe your boyfriend or girlfriend. You owe them because kayo naman eh. Yun yung term doon, di ba? You feel it's okay because you're in love with the person and trust them. Kahit na po, even though you are in love, you are head over heels in love with that person, please never ever do this. Never po kayo magsasend ng kahit anong klaseng mga indecent pictures like that one. Because we'll never know. We'll never know. Hindi man siya ang mag-send yan or I mean magkalat yan. Someone might do that. You feel proud of your body and want to share it with other people. Well, oo, may mga ganyan talaga na especially girls, di ba? Yeah, even boys, yung mga parang ang self-centered and dating, parang ganun. You want to have a sexual relationship with some you have an online relationship with. And if you just want to, what do you call this one, to make akit sa taong yun, kung gusto mo lang akitin, kung gusto mo lang magpapansin, since you are interested with that person, you might be doing it para pansinin niya. Diba? So, remember, there is no turning back once you press send. Even though we have the Snapchat features, yan, the person can still take a screenshot. Even Facebook, 'di ba? Pwede na rin po nating ma-check or may screenshot yung mga sinesend nila. Mabilis na mag-screenshot. Point something seconds na screenshot na yan. Now you are risking yourself being seen as someone you not. Yun po. So that alone is one of the privacy risk na meron tayo. Another privacy risk in the online threats or online safety and security is the inappropriate content. Now, you have to be very aware of the sites you visit, especially yan. It features a lot of sex, violence, and drug abuse. And majority of these information are being exposed explicitly in Facebook. So, hindi lang naman kasi sarili natin ang pinoprotektahan natin online, but then the people around us as well, yung mga bata in particular. Now, often anyone can access these sites even when parental controls are in place. Diba? Even like videos from YouTube can be accessed. Yung mga indecent na music videos na meron tayo, yan, they can access them. The kids can access them. So, you could be encouraged to view them via content shared by others on social networking sites. This is really one of the saddest part on the internet na hindi tayo aware. We keep on sharing, we keep on posting, we keep on commenting stuff related to that one. Pero we are not really being aware that we are really encouraging some other people to view that. Like for example, yung latest music video na nakita ko na na-share ng isang student with, ni Tony Fowler and yung si Makaji ba yun? 'Di ba? It really features sex and of course drugs. But then it's being watched by a lot of Filipinos out here and even some even kids actually watch that music video. So hindi kasi natin alam or hindi nila alam yung risk na pwede nilang makuha by just simply watching those kind of music video. And I think hindi rin din kontrolado ng YouTube channel site nila na ipalabas yun sa kahit kanino because it's an algorithm of YouTube. Diba? So, all this time, the it will always start from us in terms of how we protect ourselves online. So, lagi nating i-make sure. Kung hindi man tayo, protect na lang din natin yung mga kids na kasama natin sa bahay. So, be very careful pa rin po. Another risk here is what we call the online grooming. Now, the internet is a highly interactive tool which can allow people to communicate with each other very easily. And through the internet, chat programs, and social networking sites, and even mobile phones, mobile apps, and games. Now, this is what we call the online grooming. Kasi ang online grooming kasi, yun nga, the pedophiles, say for example, have been known to use this method to contact young people by disguising themselves as another young person. Marami na rin po na ano neto, na biktima neto, especially when they are using the Snapchat features or the Snapchat filters na akala nila bata sila, akala nila maganda sila or something like that, diba? This can lead to gaining the trust of an individual and their friends. And these false relationships based on lies can often pave way for exposure to upsetting images and online content, and in some cases, arranging a meeting in person. So when we say online grooming, for everyone's information, it's the term used to describe inappropriate behavior towards a young person, putting them at risk to a sexual offense. Napaka ito yung pinaka naawa ko ano to nakaka takot, especially kapag may mga kapatid kayo or may mga ate kayo, may mga kuya kayo na mas bata sa inyo or yeah, mga ading ninyo, 'di ba? Kasi hindi nga nila alam kung anong ginagawa nila for now. We are not really or we can't really monitor what they are doing 24/7. Well, technically it's still possible, but then do you know how to do that? And do you have time to do that? Do you have time to set that up? So, hindi pa rin natin alam. Kaya nga, it's our responsibility as an adult pa rin to at least advise the young generation to be very careful when it comes to communicating with other people online. And even if nothing dangerous does happen, knowing you may have had contact with somebody like this can be extremely upsetting. And yeah, making friends So online, it's also possible to make friends online, and we all know it's not healthy to spend hours and hours in front of a computer screen. But another person with social networking is the pressure you can feel to make sure you have lots of friends online. 'Di ba? Kasi ano yan, peer pressure yan. If one person have a lot of friends list, probably that person alone will also try to invite or add some more friends para maging in or para maging pantay sila. When I was a teenager and Facebook started, when I started using Facebook like around 2009, I'm one of those students who are guilty of adding a lot of friends even though hindi ko kilala. So kaya ngayon, nagtataka ako kung sino yung mga taong to. Pero na-realize ko, pinag-a-add ko pala sila nung like 11 years ago. Diba? So, yun, I think, nung time na yun kasi hindi pa gaano, kumbaga nag-uumpisa pa lang kasi ang social media. So we don't really know yet the privacy na or the risk of privacy that we are actually putting in. Akala namin dati, when you have an online friend, it's okay. But then, na-realize din namin na, yeah, uh, having online friend is much less meaningful than face-to-face. It's still better to have a close friend na nakikita mo face-to-face or nakakausap mo pa rin. You can easily fall out with an online friend because of a misunderstood comment, especially when you are talking about politics and religion. Yan. It's also far easier and healthier to sort out arguments and problems when you can talk to someone face to face. So it's still better to talk with other people pa rin, face to face. Okay? Do you have any questions so far? Yan. So those are actually the online threats that we have or online safety and security. This is very important po and I hope hindi po natin to makalimutan or makaligtaan because this is one of the what do you call this one of the most sensitive topic and being forgotten by a lot of students. Yung risk na kinakaharap natin when we are using the online environment, especially in social media. That's the number one reason why I discourage students, umpisa pa lang ng klase, to use social media frequently. Take note ha, the use or the term here is frequently. Okay lang naman gumamit ng social media pero wag madalas. Even try to even limit your social media usage. Try mo ring wag masyadong mag-post, wag masyadong mag-comment. Especially kahit na gaano kaganda ng nangyari sa'yo, as much as possible, please avoid doing that or i-keep mo na lang sa sarili mo. Personally, me, I love taking pictures of what's happening all around me, but then I rarely post that because I know about the privacy or the risk. I only post something related to I only post in social media na related lang sa gaming. Pag magpo-post man ako ng mukha ko or may kasama ko, I make sure na hindi siya sa mismong address ko nakatutok. Nasa siguro kumain sa labas, merong meeting, may mga ganyan. So, yun lang po, di ba? So, do you have any questions so far with the discussion natin ng online safety and security? Okay.